Good morning. Please check it. Glod chat. what's Glod chat? Glod chat. No idea what that is. Glod chat. Glod chat. Glod chat. Right. Let's have a look at this. Okay, that's that. See that. David. Thank you. You made it. David, we need to catch up. You're so busy these days. Right. Looking at XO. That bullish div from yesterday though. Can't ignore it. Kind of ignored it a little bit. It's a bit silly, especially after all of these liquidations, and then you see bullish divergences. That was basically, next time we see that, we know exactly what to expect. Yeah, massive liquidations, bullish divergences. Yeah, so that was really important to see. There was plenty of ways to enter this range for a long, and even if it was just a scalp would have led to recovery of the value area low. What's interesting is you see here it came back to perfectly test the value area low, and swing failure of these local lows would have been a perfect entry too, with a small invalidation. You see how it came to test the value area low, and then swing failure of these local lows, and there was a little bit of a buy up and then a squeeze up. So that was good to see. It's good to see these things, because next time they happen, you just keep on remembering them, and then it becomes muscle memory. So there was a swing failure of that higher here, and it basically just led to the back test of the value area low here. So that's quite good to see. I don't see longs entering yet, so I think people are still a little bit nervous. So obviously I think what's happened is a lot of people have been liquidated, and it's fundamentally it's spot that's pushing the price, not really leverage longs at the moment. So it's probably a healthy rise, in context. Hold on a second. So the question is many things. We've got a few questions. It looks like that harmonic was a cipher. I thought maybe it would go deeper, and the timing was a little bit off, which is really annoying because you want good timing. So the cipher would have been that. So it came down quite fast. I was hoping for it to come on. Look, it's a little bit shorter, huh? See that? And then when you do a trend-based fib time, it doesn't quite match correctly. I was thinking it would come a bit, yeah. That is a cipher though. I can't see any, maybe is it that pivot? No, it has to be that pivot. Could that be that one? No. And then this one, which one is it? It's the low, which is that one. It was a bit annoying, huh? It's a bit annoying to miss fib time. Should have been on Monday. I wonder, I mean, today is Monday, so will there be a sell-off? I doubt it if we hold the value area low. And so looking at the value area low, where we are now, let me have a look. Good morning, Fee for Life. What do you think about XRP? You mean the stable coin? They should rebrand it XR stable. Look, we're back in the value area low. That's a sign of strength. We've back tested the value area low. That's confirmation. Let me zoom in on the time scale so I can get much more accurate data. Absolutely no changes to the volume. So that's something. We have this previous value area up here. Let me just ignore the previous one now. What I want to do with the value area up here is I want to just take the most recent one. So before I was using the data from this previous range, and now I'm going to use data from this range here. So basically from where the candle comes above the previous all-time high to when it leaves underneath it. Okay. And I'm going to update the value area, the local value area. I'm going to rename it as well. Call it. Put a higher local. I think the point of control here is a bit lower now. Good morning, Arham Ahmed. No, I don't think so. We'll see. I don't think so. I think this might have been it. That was dip. That was, I think what we had over the weekend was probably going to be the pre-halving dip. It's hard to be 100%, but it's all, everything's based on Bitcoin right now. And the fact that we were able to, you see, this is what I'm looking at. So when I do a volume range pool on this whole range, yeah, this is the bottom, this is the top. Let me just get rid of this indicator. Using this tool, fixed range volume profile, yeah. Okay. That's the volume range. And what happened was that my internet just intermittently disconnected. So I'm back. So let me just go over that again. Apologies for that. I'm back. So, okay, that was weird. So what happened was over the weekend, Bitcoin lost the value area, came back to test it as resistance. That was resistance. That's the value area low. And then what happened was the price came back into the value area. And what we've now experienced is a back test. See that? That's a back test. So we've now back tested and confirmed the value area low as support. For the price to lose the value area and then come back into the value area is a sign of strength. Yeah, losing the value area is a sign of weakness. Getting back into the value area is a sign of strength. It happens quite a lot. And so now that we're back into the value area, there's no reason to think that we're going to lose the value area. Tim the Chin says US markets will dump hard. Bull trap. Okay, that's quite interesting. Let's see. So we'll know if it's a bull trap. Because again, it's quite easy to see if it's a bull trap because we'll lose the value area low. Yeah. So right now we're in the value area. It's a sign of strength. If we lose the value area again, that's it. We're back to weakness again. So as far as I can tell, it's not a bull trap because we've come back into the value area. Yeah, that's just logic. It's just logic. Yeah, I'm not like applying any kind of bias to the analysis. I'm just being logical about the way the price moves and what it means. Yeah, so losing levels are weakness, reclaiming levels of strength, and these levels are really important. These value areas are really, the value area is really important. For some reason I had it correct before and it's kind of messed up again. I think it didn't save. Oh, maybe that's up there. All right, anyway, let me just remove that. It could be a bull trap, why not? Anything could happen. But one thing I know about Bitcoin is that when people are bearish, Bitcoin goes up, and when people are bullish, Bitcoin goes down. So right now, if people aren't buying, it's because they're bearish. And your Tim the Chin is one thing I noticed yesterday, which I looked at my stream, was the order flow on XO charts. And when you have a look at the order flow, you can see that there was a massive absorption here. So you see, as we had these liquidations, massive amount of liquidations yesterday and the day before. See these pink bubbles? These are liquidations. And liquidations are basically selling at market. So there's quite a lot of sell pressure. And considering there was quite a lot of sell pressure, the price only really got thus far. And what effectively was happening was that the whole drop was being absorbed. And you see how this CBD is making lower lows here, and you see how the price is making higher lows. That's massive absorption, and that's probably from limit orders, and they're probably from spot orders or big limit orders, because you can see the OI isn't really going up. Okay, so there's massive absorption here, so it doesn't really matter what else is going on. If the market is feeling bearish right now, that's normal because people are a little bit uncertain. A lot of people got liquidated, and in context of the liquidations, the price really didn't get down that far. If you think about how much liquidations happened, this was a massive liquidation event. Price only came down 10%. Okay, it stayed within the range, and now it was massively absorbed, and now the price is back in to the value area. I'm not going to get bearish on what I think could happen in the future. I'm just going to focus on what I'm seeing right now, and what I'm seeing right now is strength. I'm not seeing weakness right now, this exact second. Yeah, if we get weakness, it's going to be losing the value area low. That's weakness. If right now we go up to the point of control, come back down, back test, and then somehow lose it, that would be, you'd see that, and then you're right, that's a bull trap. But you can't get into that mindset yet, because at the moment it looks quite strong. Okay, now you're saying the volume is low. The volume is low, that's true. I think that's quite normal for the volume to be quite low, because people are a little bit hesitant. They're just holding back, waiting for something else. Maybe there's people waiting for a reclaim of higher levels. Some people might be looking for some kind of market structure change on the medium time frame. Yeah, like on the 4-hour chart, we're still making lower highs, lower lows. Yeah, if the price now does get and make a higher high here, that will give that will give people a lot more confidence to enter long, because then they'll be longing the higher low on the 4-hour time frame, not on the 1-hour time frame. But I'm not really fussed about any of that. As far as I'm concerned, we lost the value area low, that was weakness. We reclaimed the value area low, that's strength. That's just logic. Yeah, it's happened before. We lost it, we reclaimed it, back tested it, lost it, reclaimed it, lost it, reclaimed it, and then it kind of stayed up. Okay, it's happened before here. Lost it, reclaimed it. I don't think this is going to be any different. I don't see why there's any difference between the volume here and the volume here in losing the value area low and reclaiming it. There isn't really much difference in the behavior. And the other thing is that you have had a liquidation event. Honestly, I was expecting a bullish harmonic to complete. My timing was a little bit off because I'm basing my timings on fib time. Okay, and for reasons that I don't understand, nobody can see that huge bearish head and shoulders BTC 2-hour time frame. This well, it's not really a head and shoulders because you've got a bigger shoulder. This isn't really a head and shoulders pattern. And if it was, the neckline is already broken. To me, it's more like some kind of triangle, which is just broken down and completed, rather than what you're imagining, which is a topping pattern, a head and shoulders pattern. I don't think that's head and shoulders, personally. It would make more sense if the head was up here. Then you'd be looking at head and shoulders, and then I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think so. And the context is really important. Like, you're talking about, if this was a real head and shoulders pattern just before the Bitcoin halving, then basically we're heading down here. We're going down. Yeah. I think that's, I don't know. I think that's a bit, I can't see that right now. Let's lose the value area low first, again, for the 5th time or 6th time. Then we can contemplate that kind of idea. This is what we experienced. We experienced the breakout. of a triangle, yeah, not a head and shoulders pattern. And basically you could argue that the pattern is now complete because we've come down enough to complete the pattern. Zoom out 4 hours. Okay, let's have a look. I'm trying to be objective here as well. You know, I'm not trying to be overly biased. Yeah, I mean, I see what you're seeing. No, I don't think so. Then you could argue this was a head and shoulders too, with a crazy right shoulder. Like you can make anything into a head and shoulders pattern, really, if you want to look at it like that. Was this a head and shoulders pattern? You know, how many head and shoulders patterns are there? If you want a proper head and shoulders pattern, then the best one that I've seen is on ETH against BTC, because I was in it last bull market. Let me go and find it for you. It was a very small one, actually. Where was it? There. Yeah. That's a head and shoulders pattern. See, and you break the neckline and you go down. Complete the pattern. The price just came back up. Okay. That's what you're kind of looking for. I'm not crazy about your idea, sorry. 74k was the top of the left shoulder. Let's have a look. Okay, so you mean this little one here, yeah? This one here. That. Yeah, that's a head and shoulders pattern. No? 74k. What time frame do you want me to use? Zoom out. Okay. This is a 12-hour chart. I'm zooming out. Let me just get rid of these lines. And get rid of the volume as well, so there's no distractions. Right. Tell me what you think. Okay, I'm zoomed out. This one here. Which one? This one? This one. This was the head and shoulders, yeah. That was, yeah. Wrong screen. Shit, I'm on the wrong screen. Fuck. Okay, my bad. Now you corrected me. That's all I needed, was for you to tell me which screen I was on. Sorry. I'm an idiot. All right, we're back to normal. That was a head and shoulders pattern. Yeah. That was a really horrible one. That was the last bull market, wasn't it? Now you're looking at this one here. I don't see one here. I don't think that's head and shoulders. I think what we experienced is a triangle breakout, and I think the pattern's complete. I can't see it because market structure hasn't changed. Okay, I think market structure is really important, and in a classic head and shoulders pattern, the reason why they're so powerful is because of a higher time frame market structure change. That's what makes them so powerful. Okay, so it isn't just about the pattern itself, it's also about the idea of what the pattern is, which is a market structure change. Okay, so when you're looking at these patterns, you're also getting a higher time frame market structure change with the pattern breaking out and then completing. Okay, so let me just have a look at this one. And this is quite a higher time frame, so we'd have to try and compare it on the same time frame. But you see right now, this is the lower high, this is the higher high. So as far as market structure is concerned, there's no change at the moment. We're still in bullish daily market structure. Where's the lower high? No, this is the lower high here. Lower high, higher high. Everything inside that range is nothing. There's no lower high and higher high because we haven't made a higher high. To make a lower high, you have to then follow it with a higher high. Yeah, this isn't a lower high because we haven't made a higher high. Does that make sense? That's the higher high. This is the higher high. This is the lower high. Now you have to make either a lower low, which we haven't made yet, or a higher high, which we haven't made yet. So at the moment, we're still in daily time frame bullish market structure. There's been no change. There's no lower high. That's not a lower high. Here, which one? Right shoulder? This. That's not a lower high. It's not a lower high because we haven't made a lower low. You have to make a lower low first. You don't go from a higher high to a lower high. You have to go from a higher high to a lower low. Yeah, this has to go look, in an uptrend like this. Yeah, you put in your, this is an uptrend, right? You're making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher high, higher low. See that? Higher high, higher low. The price goes up. It makes a higher high. Okay. Now, this isn't a higher low yet. It looks like a higher low, but it's not a higher low yet. The reason why it's not a higher low yet is because we haven't made a higher high. Okay. You have to make a higher high to confirm the higher low. Yeah. It could have been a higher low. Yeah, but you ignore those BitMEX and MEXC wicks down to 10K. You have to ignore those. Those are scam wicks based on bad behavior and low liquidity. It's got nothing to do with the charts. You want the accurate charts, you have to basically probably look at this one, this BTC inverse perpetual contract on Bybit. I'm not going to look at other charts because you can't analyze correctly because the wicks aren't correct. It's just showing poor whatever execution of their software, or whatever, or low liquidity or something, or some other problems, or they're just trying to scam people and they're trying to liquidate people on purpose. The point is, just to get back on point, this isn't a higher low. If we had gone up and made a higher high, then this would have been the higher low. Okay, so right now we're not in a higher low. None of these lows are higher lows and none of these highs are lower highs. If we go up and make a higher high here, yeah, then you go from higher low, higher high, higher low. That becomes this low becomes your higher low, and that the next high becomes your higher high. Okay, but right now it's not a higher low, or none of these are lower highs. You have to change. You have to make a lower low first or a higher high first, and then you can confirm the change. Anyway, that's how it's done. I don't know how you do it. You want me to have a look at BitMEX? In 2020, we crashed under 10K after halving. Maybe not a head and shoulder, but I believe. Well, look, it may happen. I can't tell you what will or won't happen. Yeah. All I can tell you is that you can't make 10K without losing the value area. That's the point. Yeah. Who cares about whether we go to 10K or not? I don't really care about 10K at the moment, because my point is, if you want to go to 10K, guess what you have to do? You have to lose the value area low. That's the point. Yeah. We either go to 10K or not. We either go to 50K or not. Who knows? No one really knows. But you can't go down without losing this level. Yeah, that's the first indication of going down, of the next sign of weakness. You don't have to get bearish until we lose that level. Lose the level, get bearish. Yeah. So regardless of whether you're right or I'm wrong or whoever's right, the point is we have to lose that level first. Okay. If we lose that level, we're going down. Yeah, probably. Could fake out again, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't really want to reclaim a level and then lose it again. Yeah, we may go down and back test it to go back up, but I don't want to go down to lose it. Okay, so it's a very decisive level. It's not something to be ignored. If we're going down, we have to lose it. And at the moment, we haven't changed medium time frame market structure. On the 4-hour time frame, we are still making lower highs, and we are still making lower lows on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so the point is we still have to change 4-hour time frame market structure. So you might be right. We might go up into the point of control, make a lower high on the 4-hour time frame, come back down, lose the value area low, and look what's going to happen. You make a lower low in the 4-hour time frame, then you've made a lower low on the daily time frame. After a lower low on the daily time frame, you'll be looking for a lower high on the daily time frame. Okay, that could be like this, or it could be like this. It could be anything. Yeah. So that's kind of what we need to happen first. Until that happens, we're in the value area. Yeah, I can't get bearish yet because we're in the value area. Let's lose the value area low. Then it's not far even. You know, we don't have to. You don't have to panic too much. It's only like 3% lower. Yeah. So this is a very decisive line in the sand, and while we're above it, I think we're safe. But we still haven't changed the 4-hour time frame market structure. We have to do that. Let's do that first. Okay. On the daily time frame, we're still holding the higher low. This is the higher high. Everything in between is just consolidation. Everything is just consolidation. And then the other thing you have to bear in mind, which I haven't really talked about, is the Elliott waves. So my count on Elliott waves, if I pull it up, is like this. Go to the 3-day time. So I've got us in right now a 4 correction still, and on the higher time frame we went from the 0 to the 1 to the 2, and we are in the 3, and I've counted 1, 2, 3. We're in the 4, and we've got one more wave of the 3. So technically, if we are to correct, this is going to be the limit, 44K. Yeah, so 10K isn't possible. FE for Life says Elliott waves are boring. Larry Finkel says Wall Street wants lower. Market makers will use the... I think that whole Israel conflict is coming to an end with Iran, you mean? I think that was it. I don't think anything else is going to happen. because 99% of the drones were intercepted, so there was no damage done. And Biden's already said that he won't participate with Israel to revenge attack or counterattack. So maybe that was it. Who knows? Anyway, the point of the Elliott waves is that the 4 can't come underneath the 1. That would invalidate the count. Okay, so if we are to drop, I think you'll be looking at the very lowest about 45k. But I'm not seeing that at the moment because we're still holding support lines. Okay, and I'm looking for a last wave going up to about 95k. That's what I'm looking for to complete this wave 3. After we have an all-time high breakout to the upside. That's what I'm looking for. No, exactly. It would invalidate the count. You can't, the rules of Elliott waves are that you have 1, 2, 3, the 4, the bottom of the 4 can't go underneath the top of the 1. That's the limit. So that's the lowest that you could go to continue with the bullish idea of this count. Yeah, so we have there's a limit to how far we can go if we drop. That's going to be about 44k. Okay, and it doesn't have to go all the way down. It could go anywhere in between. I'm not seeing that at the moment. Okay, it's been extremely accurate. So FE for Life is saying, how accurate has it been? Extremely, because in one of my streams, probably a month ago, using Elliott waves, I called that level as the top. Yeah, I can't remember which day it was. I can show you if you want. When was it? 13th of March. I'd have to go and have a look. Just using Elliott waves. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, 2 weeks ago. Why does this do that? BTC short squeeze, what's next? I can't see the dates. What date was that? Get ready. Does it have a date? It's weird, huh? Doesn't have a date. No, I'm not going to waste time looking for it. But in a few of my videos, let me see if this is it. There you go. Look, see that? Look at that. 2. You see where the 3 is? So this is sometime in March. I had the 3, maybe, I mean, forget about the timings, but I had the level 72500. That's just using Elliott waves and trend-based fib extensions. And in one of my videos, I even drew a box. I said, this is the sell zone. And I gave reasons why. I've got it all there. And that's just using Elliott waves, right? So they're quite useful for predicting moves. So I think right now we're seeing a sign of strength, and if we don't lose the value area, then we're okay. Usually when people are bearish, Bitcoin goes bullish. Usually when Bitcoin is bullish, people get bearish. Okay, so I'm not thinking bearish at the moment because people are bearish, the market is bearish, so I'm actually starting to become more bullish, and that's the time when people get caught off guard because they are bearish in the market, and then they have to FOMO in higher up, which pushes the price to higher numbers. Okay, the other thing that really interests me is Slurf. Okay, so I've been using Slurf as a as a as a as a signal. Okay, it's very unusual for someone to use a meme coin as a signal. Good morning, Matt Fontaine, welcome. But for some reason, Slurf seems to be leading the market, and I think the reason why is because you've got some very big people behind it. Yeah, they're invested heavily into Slurf, and then they're big whales. They know what they're doing, and so what I've noticed with Slurf is it preempts the market. It's doing what the market does, but beforehand. And so what you've seen in Slurf is this liquidation, the sell-off, the liquidation. It came before Bitcoin, and then the buyback, and this came before Bitcoin too. And when I'm looking at this now, I'm just seeing right now, I'm seeing crazy strength in this recovery. This is really strong, this recovery. So I'm keeping an eye on this. I think as long as this is looking strong, for me, that's quite an indication. It's weird, huh? But it is working. So at the moment, it's coming into resistance, which is at the same time as Bitcoin. Bitcoin's coming into resistance. This is coming into the range point of control. Bitcoin is, surprise, surprise, coming in to the point of control. Slowly but surely coming into the point of control. Let me bring it back up again. If I can find it. I've got too much stuff. There it is. See that point of control? Let's see what happens. You know, we probably could get a reaction there. Could come back there. Could do that. Could definitely do that. Or you could do that. Or you could do that. You know, there's only so many variations of what can happen, and then there's probably more, but these are like the common ones, and the price usually moves around these lines in certain ways. If you're going to go up, the price can only behave a certain way, right? And that's what you're looking for at the moment. As long as we're in the value area, I see strength, and so I'll be looking for longs. And what I'm also seeing is a lot of altcoins return to strength, like the one that I'm interested in, which is TRVL. Look at that, just like made a higher low, back into the value area. That's strong. You know, for an altcoin to do that doesn't necessarily mean that doesn't really exude weakness. XRP, I think I've looked at XRP a couple of times, and the problem with XRP is, I'll explain. Oh, it's a good place to buy, actually, because you're at this bottom trend line. This trend line has to hold. The problem with XRP is when you look at the range, the distance between from here to here, basically that's May 2018, and we're at April 2024, and look, we're at exactly the same price. Yeah. So there's no trend here. Effectively, we're in a range. This is your range. Okay, that's all XRP is. XRP is a ranging token. That's all it is. There's no trends, there's no breakout, there's nothing here. It's just effectively, it's just a stable coin. Okay, it's a stable coin with quite a lot of volatility in terms of from bottom to top. So that's 1,758% up, and all the way down, if you go all the way down, it's 94% down. I think for a token to go back all the way that far back and to still be at the same price. It just tells you that we're in range. There's no trend here. It's just flat. There's no momentum, nothing. Okay. We are coming into a bit of a triangle squeeze. You see that? Okay. We've come to the bottom, so it's actually a good place to buy. So we're coming into support. Almost came to the point of control. It's not a bad place to buy, but I think with this token, whenever we break out, if we break out up, then that'll be probably the maximum of the distance that this will travel, like another 200%, and that's it. I don't expect a breakout because the momentum is totally flat in this whole range. When you look at the momentum, yeah, it's quite flat. When I'm looking at the momentum, it's slightly to the upside, but it's quite flat. So you see here, the moving averages are quite flat. I think for that kind of, and also the market cap's quite high. It's overhyped. If anyone has accumulated this token in the lows, like if anyone is like, because there's quite a large amount of liquidity in this token. If you're catching the lows of this up move, yeah, and your average position is somewhere in the middle, for someone or many people who have got billions of dollars in this, if it goes up 2x or 3x, they'll be content and they'll just take their profit. That's what's going to happen with XRP. No one is going to wait for some kind of breakout, I don't think. Just don't see it. But anyway, anything can happen. It's crypto. Okay, yeah, you've been buying since 33 cents. SEC's been holding it back. Case is almost over. Right. You could get some kind of rally, but I just think in the context of this higher time frame range, yeah, if people have a large amount of value in this, they will take profit. I think best case scenario, you'll be looking at breakout somehow, maybe SFP, I don't know, maybe come up to the top of this trend line here, in best case scenario, up to about $2-3, best case scenario. From our current price, that would be like a 4x or 5x max coming to the top there. And you're just basically in a higher time frame trending token. Higher time frame. And don't forget, at any point in time in the future, when you're creating this kind of pattern, if you don't break out to the top, you could break down like that. And guess what? Nothing changes. You're just you're in the same old range. It's just in the same range. Yeah. Nothing has actually changed. You're still in the same range. That's just deviation from the top of the range. That's all it is. If we do go up to $3 or $4 or whatever and break down, whenever that happens, then you're just range bound, basically. That's what I see with XRP. All right. Hope that helped. All-time high is $3. Not according to this chart. I don't know. I don't care about reported all-time highs, honestly, because I've seen so many mistakes on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. Right now, I'm just focusing on this Binance chart because it probably has the most volume. Yeah, I don't think there's too much interest in this, to be honest with you. Nah, this is fine. These fibs are fine. Look, this is from this pivot low to this pivot high, and you see the golden pocket is respected here. You can see that the 50% of this is respected. You can see respect here. You can see reactions here and here. The 382, you can kind of see reactions, and the 236, you can see there's a little bit of reaction there. I don't really care about the reported all-time high. For me, that's fine. It looks correct. Okay, Coinbase, yeah. Well, maybe Coinbase did have a higher yeah, it's Binance. Forget about the others. Look, 24-hour volume, Binance, $337 million, 24-hour volume. Let's see what the perps are. Binance futures, look, and then Bybit. Look at that, almost $1 billion worth of volume on XRP on Binance futures, and then Bybit's coming 7. Coinbase isn't even there. Isn't even in the list. Is Coinbase in the spot list? Nah. I would forget about the Coinbase, whatever Coinbase is telling you. Just focus on the highest volume, which is Binance. I would honestly ignore all the other charts and just use the Binance chart. Forget about all the other data and just focus on this data, because the volume is on Binance. All right. I think whatever it was in the past is irrelevant. What matters is this, because this is where all the volume is on this token. It's just my opinion. Let's have a look. There it is, yeah. That. So you're basing your idea on that. I understand. It's 2018. Okay, I understand. All right. Maybe that does change things. Let's have a look. There it is. Okay, I see what you're saying. It makes more sense, huh? I don't like this wick. And there's no volume data here. It's basically been in this range since 2017 with no breakout. I mean, you have a very definite line. Let's see what happens. If you break out from that line, then maybe you could complete some kind of harmonic idea, which is still it would still look quite bearish, but because you're kind of forming a W. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned because you're hugging this trend line really tightly. That's not bullish to hug trend lines tightly. It's bullish to bounce and reject off trend lines. So this is what I'm looking at now, based on that high there, which is, there's no reason to think, even if we come break out of this, that we're going to break out of that. I don't think that's, I still don't see it. Yeah, I mean, anyway, this is, just forget about the FUD. This is the analysis, okay? That's your volume range. These are the trend lines. We're into the value area high of this overall range. When we came into this range in 2017 May, you've got a larger range, but you can kind of ignore all of this, because I think this is obviously a consolidation pattern on a higher time frame. So I mean, you're right, it is possible for this to go up to the next level. It is possible, okay? But I think it's hard to imagine that until we flip higher levels into support, and I can't see that happening at the moment, okay? All I see right now is we're struggling to get higher. I see a struggle, okay? And that's the problem. So I mean, who knows? Maybe it will pump with retail jumping in. Yeah, I mean, look, based on what you're saying to me, that's a higher time frame consolidation. That's a breakout. This is a higher time frame reaccumulation. This whole range is a reaccumulation range. Everyone who invested here was taking their profits here, and then they're selling higher, buying low, selling higher, buying low. That's basically that's the kind of price action that we're seeing right now. Most people who bought and sold did it at about 29 cents, the point of control. And right now we're almost coming to a place where it could go up or down. Yeah, that's the thing. Now, possibly up, or possibly it will just do this for a little bit longer. And then if it does break out, again, you're coming into this higher trend line. You've only hit it twice, twice. So I think the third time you will see a reaction. I don't see any reason why there's not going to be a reaction on this higher trend line. This is the third time it touches. Okay. So, and look, that's also coming into the golden pocket sometime in the future, December, January. See that? From this pivot here down to this pivot here. That's the golden pocket. That's the higher time frame trend line. That's big resistance as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, you would be taking profit at about $1 or something like that, and you may get some kind of rejection and a swing failure of this pivot here. It's possible. So technically, if you want to trade, you have your low is in, there it is. That's your starting point. And That's your trade. Something like that. Probably to that pivot actually. So you have a risk 1, you have a reward of 4.76 based on this invalidation all the way down to that pivot. So you're not expecting now the price to do this and take out that pivot. That would invalidate this long trade. So on a higher time frame, this is your trade, and you can obviously hone it down by zooming in and trying to capture a tighter entry with a much smaller invalidation. You might, some people, I like to do it on the daily, or I like to do it based on previous swing lows, like this one here. So if you were to start accumulating now, you don't really want to see the price come underneath this pivot again. So you don't have to have such a wide invalidation. Based on that risk to reward ratio, you're looking at a risk 1 and potentially gain 11 in this trade up to that pivot high. I definitely would be looking to take profit, significant profit here, because that's a third touch of a really higher time frame trend line and a higher time frame golden pocket. DJM, hi, how's it going? I know Hong Kong has approved the first BTC and ETF, BTC and ETH ETF today. That's amazing. FE for life, I hope that helps. I'm not sure if that helped. I don't know why. Let's wait for the USD silver coin. Little BTC squeevery longs opening at the tippy top. Matt. All right, so this is kind of what I've got for XRP. Okay, just without going into too much depth. Does that help? Yeah, that's pretty good trade actually. It's a shame there aren't so many. There's so many other good ones. That's the shame. Going back to Bitcoin, sorry for that distraction, but it's always good to have a look at stuff. All right. So my overview on Bitcoin is, as long as we're in the value area, as long as we're holding the value area low as support, everything's fine. Okay. Whatever happens, we don't want to lose the value area low. We can test it, but we don't want to lose it and back test it as resistance. That would be a really amazing short opportunity, but more so a hedge opportunity. If that was to happen, you could hedge and you'd have a very tight invalidation because you wouldn't necessarily expect it to do that again. Yeah, so you'd have a very tight hedging invalidation right there if that happened. But we back tested it once already. See that? So actually it's looking okay. And while people are bearish, it's a good time to, when you see a little bit of strength on BTC, it's a good time to pick up altcoins. Okay, so I'll have a look at a few altcoins now. Let me just quickly start with TRVL. So, you know, TRVL, I've been doing lots of analysis on. Yesterday, I posted on my Twitter a doomsday scenario. On my Twitter, I posted this yesterday. Let me go there quickly now. This is my doomsday scenario. If we dip, this is my area of interest. Okay, and I also am doing Elliott wave count. So I was imagining if we do have a crash, that this is a good, this is probably the best place to pick up this token. And it doesn't look like at the moment it's going to happen. Look quickly. There, I've called it long at 4 cents. Okay, so who knows about the future? No one can predict the future. I don't think it's going to happen now, not while BTC is in the value area. But worst case scenario, and BTC loses the value area and something, another black swan happens, or like 2 black swans in a row, then for what I've got is from the all-time low to this rally bull market high, you've got the golden pocket, which is here. Then I've also got on this range, there's a little range here from here to here, and you've got the point of control. Let me go to the daily time frame here, and then that would coincide also with that trend line, not that trend line, another trend line. So there's lots of trend lines there. So basically another trend line that I've got from the all-time low here to there. So this is, at the moment I'm not thinking this. At the moment I'm not, because like I said in my previous streams, there's no reason to be bearish if 5.5 cents holds, which look what's happened, it's holding. This is a higher low at the moment. That's the higher low. This could be the higher low. Okay, that's the higher high. Higher low, higher high. This could be the higher low, because the only way to confirm that this is a higher low is we make another higher high. Okay. So at the moment, daily bullish market structure is intact. Okay, and we've had a really nice reaction again, so that's quite good to see. And I'm not thinking lower as long as 5.5 cents is holding, which it looks like it's holding at the moment. Worst case scenario, we have some kind of doomsday scenario and we get this, then this is the place to pick it up. Okay, and based on that idea, the other thing that I have in mind when it comes to this, so I'm just contemplating doomsday scenario. I've got my Elliott wave count. I've been able to update my Elliott wave count on this now, and according to, so basically I think we're almost there with our first and second wave, and it's really hard to get the first and second wave in because it's all new token, never moved before. You know, it's very erratic. It's like you're studying completely brand new behavior on a new token. It's not easy. It's not the same as any other token. Every token is unique. And so I think I've got it. So I think we started here at the 0 at 3.4 cents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's correct. ABC, that's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had the week 5 here. And then we come into our A, B, C. Now the question is the C. Is the C here? Is it here? We won't really know until we start seeing the price start moving impulsively. Okay, so we've had a little bit of an impulse, so it is possible we're in a wave 1 of 3. It's also possible we're still in a corrective ABC. Yeah, so you have to bear that in mind. We still could be correcting. This could be a much wider ABC idea. It could be ABC, whatever. It could be a more complicated correction. It could be an ABCDE to come down. It's possible. So I don't want to say that this is the bottom because I don't know. But based on fib time, if you go from the 0 to the 3 of this wave 1, the 0 to the 3 to the 4, the 618 gives me basically Tuesday, Wednesday. Now, I don't know if we're early or if we're still looking to go down, but based on fib time, the low should be roughly around here. Okay, Now, maybe we're early because of that news. Maybe that news has brought things forward a few days. Maybe what could have happened is this would have gone down anyway, but it would have kind of gone down a bit later anyway. And maybe that news over the weekend has just caused things to happen a little bit quicker. It's possible. I just don't know. I haven't got an answer. Could we go down to here? It is also possible. But where we've come down to is perfectly acceptable too. And actually, what's interesting about the level that we've come down to, if you do a trend-based fib extension from this top to this A, which one is it? To the B, that's actually a one-to-one on that ABC. Actually, the top is there, isn't it? Well, let's go from the top. So based on fibs. So not on the waves, but just from the top to there, that's like a one-to-one. Okay. Although based on fibs, based on the waves, really it should be from the one. Let me just do this correctly. Hold on. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a one-to-one. See that? That's correct. So from, not from the top. So from the end, which is from the end of the 5 of this wave, which is the top of the 1, to the A, to the B, to the C. That's exactly, see that? 1-to-1. Okay. So that's quite nice. It's quite a nice corrective move. I think it was just a little bit early, but it came. But let's see. I think that could be good. If we do have a nuke, then this is the place to buy. Analysis of WIF USDT, please. Sure. Thanks, Tim the Chin. I appreciate that. He says, hit the like, guys. Help me grow on YouTube. I do appreciate that. All right. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I want to look at some other things. What else did I want to look at? Well, we have had a little bit of an impulsive move out of that low. It is very possible that we've started our wave one of 3. Yeah, it is possible. So I am starting to count. So while I've got this ending here, which would be the end of 2, I'm now starting to count. That could be, this could now be 1, 2. Don't know where this ends. Maybe 3. Something. We have to see. So I'm starting to count. And that would be wave 1. And then you go into an ABC. And I'm just going to continue that and see how far we can go until we complete the count. And I'll follow the rules of the Elliott waves. It could also be an ABC, but we'll know, because if we now come out of this with 5 waves and we do an ABC correction, then we'll know that we're out. We're out of this corrective move, and we've started our impulsive move to the upside. The other interesting thing about TRVL is that we have finally been able to make a higher high on the 4-hour time frame. You see here we're making on the 4-hour time frame, we're making lower highs, lower lows. Yeah. And now we've made, this is our first higher high. Okay. So naturally, after you make a higher high, you're looking for a higher low. Now, we don't know when it's going to happen. You just don't want to make a new low. And that would be confirmation of So in this situation, in a 4-hour time frame, I'm taking it very seriously. That's your lower high, that's your lower low. This is now a higher high. I'm looking for a higher low. It could be anywhere. And then I want this higher high to be taken out to make another higher high. And then you've confirmed a change of market structure to bullish on the 4-hour time frame. If that was to happen, the way I'm imagining it right now, that would look really bullish because that would be a inverse head and shoulders. But anything, it could be anything. Like this is just, this higher high could be much higher. You know, the price, it could be up here, and it could just be, the higher low could just be some kind of SR flip. You know, this could go up there and it could SR flip. It doesn't have to be an inverse head and shoulders, it could be anything. But this is the first higher high on the 4-hour time frame. So that's the first change I've seen, which is kind of why I'm a little bit more bullish overall right now. Whereas yesterday in my stream, yesterday evening, I said I was neutral. I wasn't bearish, I wasn't bullish, I was neutral because I wanted to see BTC reclaim the value area. And when I was doing my BTC analysis, I said I wanted to see something, and it happened, which also kind of, it's hard to, like, sometimes it's hard to act fast. But you see the weekly and the weekly candle on Bitcoin, you see how it closed above the previous week low? The close didn't close lower, it closed above the previous week low. You have to think about the psychology of the market. If bulls were in control, which they were, because you have this red candle, which is a bears. If bears were in control, which they were, so you have this bearish red candle. Yeah, bears are in control. So red candles, bears are in control. Green candles, bulls are in control, because bulls want to close the price higher, bears want to close the price low. Okay, so there's a constant battle between bears and bulls, right? So you have two bearish candles on the weekly time frame. Bulls want to close it lower. Okay, we had a very bearish week, and the bears weren't able to close it lower than the previous week low. You see that? So it's extremely bearish, increasing volume. See that? Increasing volume, extremely bearish, massive liquidations, and yet the price closed higher than the previous week low. That already tells you that it's not as bearish as you think. Yeah, because if the bears were in control, why would they close it there? They'd want it to close all the way down here. Why would it close up there? Yeah, you wouldn't be coming back to close higher than the previous levels and back above support levels, back above the value area low. That's not bearish at all. The close is really important. And so I'm actually thinking that all it is just range bound behavior. And even though the bears were in control, effectively the bears failed to take the price down lower than where it ended, which is still inside the volume area of this range. That's the psychology of what happened yesterday, over the weekend rather. And now I'm looking at other altcoins. So TRVL looks quite good at the moment. Slurf for me is a pariah. I didn't reposition in, unfortunately. I was looking to, and I had it in my gut feeling to do it, and I didn't pull the trigger. And it's looking really good, unfortunately for all of those people who are in. What I'm looking for in Slurf is a real pullback. I can't jump in to the pump. I'm looking for a real pullback. I want to see a back test of some kind of level. Yeah, a real kind of support level to be held. I don't care if it's higher up and we back test the POC. I don't care if we come back down and back test. I don't really want to lose the value area. It's the same idea now that we're in it. But on Slurf, I think what's really nice is that we've broken out of this channel line, and it's looking really good. You know, like right now, Slurf is looking really good. We've made a higher high there on the 4-hour time frame. Looks like it. That's your higher high. Make a higher low. maybe somewhere there, and you could be looking for much higher. It's very possible. Let me just quickly have a look at some other things. Yeah, look at that. So it's looking very strong. It's amazing because it went from looking extremely weak to now looking extremely strong. We are into resistance. Amazing. It's amazing. All right. What possible BTC dip price? All graphs should show the margin of error graph along the graph they want you to believe to be real. All graphs have errors. That's true. What possible BTC dip price? I don't know. I think it's dipped at the moment. With, let's have a look at with. So let me quickly have a look at with. So I I had two ideas on with. This one didn't work. I didn't delete my line. Okay. And then I updated it with this kind of 3 to 4 count. So it's kind of come into the golden pocket. How did I do that golden pocket? Oh, I've done it on the reverse to this lower line. Anyway, that idea initially was incorrect. And then I updated it to a 3-4 here. So it looks like we've corrected her. It looks like we've had a ABC, and that was it. Get rid of that now. That would have been the best. This would have been the best buy. So I'm always contemplating the best buy, but actually I'm also looking at Elliott waves to see what could happen. So yeah, it looks okay. Huh? It does look okay. 1, 2, 3. Maybe this is it. Is that right? What's good about WIF is we've taken the liquidity from this pivot here. Okay. And we've had a good reaction. Okay. If you want to do kind of more in-depth analysis on width, let me just hide all of these. Best thing to do is just draw a volume range pool like that. You can see actually what happened is the price came into the point of control of this local range. So that's taken the liquidity from these lows here. Technically, that's a lower low, but you don't have a confirmation of bearish market structure change until you make a lower high and then a lower low. Yeah, so the onus on the bulls right now on this token is to now make a high. They have to go up there. That has to happen. If you don't see that, then it won't look good. Then you could end up doing that, and now you're in some kind of bearish market structure. Wait, that's on the 4-hour time frame. My bad. Hold on, let me have a look at the daily time frame. That's more important. Yeah, same really. The daily time frame. So it's exactly the same when you look at the daily time frame. Higher high, higher high, higher low, higher high. That's this now is a lower low because we've taken out the low there. So to confirm market structure change, you have to make now a lower high, and then the price has to come back and make a lower low. The only way for the bulls to carry on the momentum would be to make another high here. So the price now has to make another high, otherwise it will make a lower high. So who knows what's going to happen? No one can predict that. Dan, hi Dan, how's it going? ETH BTC breaking down is not good for alts. Oh yeah, it isn't really, is it? But it's funny because I think some altcoins are just following BTC this time, and they're not really bothered about ETH BTC. Well, look, it's just, it looks to me right now, it just looks like another swing failure of the lows, and it's looking like the price is still teetering but not really breaking down yet. It didn't look good. No, it looked terrible. I was looking at it and it didn't look good at all. But you know, we're back above this pivot. It's like a swing failure. We have the previous range value area low. I've done that from before. We're kind of trying to find support here. That's what's happening. Yeah, it's on edge at the moment. It's at a very critical point. You don't want to fall into this range or lose the previous range, but I don't know how I've done this because I've got lots of red lines. Local, 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 higher range, that's the higher range. Point of control, previous range. Okay, so this is the red line. That's the previous range, that's the park. Let me just redo the whole value area. Where do I want to do it from? Okay, so let me just update that on the daily chart. I am wondering if altcoins are actually going to follow Solana this time round and not ETH. I have that in my mind. Maybe that's also a slight change. Okay, yeah. So look, this is the problem with ETH BTC. Yeah, that's our value area high. I should really change the color so it's very obvious. Let me make it a little darker. No. Make it a little bit darker. Lighter. A bit lighter. So we have lost the value area. We're in the value area of the overall range. That's the previous range value area low. What's the previous range? That's this range. That's the previous range. I mean, this, to see strength in this needs to go basically up there and then back up there, and it needs to get, basically needs to get back up there. Yeah, and in between, it's kind of stuck, a little bit stuck. We've lost the value area high, which is this line here. And we just need to get back up. We're kind of finding support on the previous range value area low. But swing failures aren't necessarily bad because it just means there isn't really enough strength to take the price lower. So we're just getting like a continued bleed. We're not seeing that crazy sell-off. Maybe we will if Bitcoin starts running. I think that's possible. Like, I think if Bitcoin starts running, we could see that happen. And this could go all the way down to the point of control. That's probably the target if this does fall down. What do you think about Smilex? I don't even know what it is. What is Smilex? That's also kind of the golden pocket. See that? See that? So you're probably, if we fill this volume gap here, see there's a volume gap with the way the price moved up. There's a massive gap there. The price loves to fill gaps. Very possible if BTC goes up, that this goes down, and that's where alt season begins, like the true alt season. I can't say that that's going to happen, but it may happen because right now there's a lot of attention on BTC. It's not looking very strong, I agree, but at the same time, we are having lots of swing failures, and actually what you really want to do now to show strength is to get back above this pivot here. That would be really good to see. All right. So right now we're kind of underneath that pivot. We've taken that liquidity from this low, but we're kind of finding resistance on this pivot. Remember, this is a higher time frame. What the first sign of strength returning to this token pair would be for this to come back up, find support, and then continue going up. So we just want to flip that level back into a support level. And until that happens, you could argue that we're seeing weakness on ETH. But I don't think that Solana is leading the way at the moment when it comes to altcoins. Okay, see that? I had this trade plan, didn't take it, but there was quite a lot of things going on. But that's kind of that was the right place to buy. Yeah, interesting, huh? Let's have a look at this EW count now. Reset price. That was a really good place to buy. That looks like a back test of this pivot. That could be the 4. That could be the 1. Could it be? I still have us going higher. Huh? I'm not sure where. Nice market buying on TRVL on MEX. Wow, there's a lot of people viewing, huh? 14 viewers. Where did you guys come from? I better do a good job. We've had market buying on TRVL. So the 2 tokens that I actually bought in this dip are because I've been charting them, and there's no point charting them if I don't have them. So I got some quanks, okay, and actually with quanks I was looking for. I had my 4 wave going down to here actually, and basically when I was looking at the chart today, I saw a nice reaction of this 6-6, this reverse. I think it's which golden pocket is that? It's the inverse. It's the reverse from that high to this low. you have this 6-6, the top side of the golden pocket of the reverse. You see the reaction. The other thing I saw which I liked was the liquidity from this pivot taken. It's good. And so naturally I just bought. Okay, I didn't buy yesterday, I bought today. So I saw that and I saw the price was being bought up and I was like, okay, this looks good. So I'm just going to start buying. So yeah, so I'm finally in for all those people who are like wondering when am I going to buy. I should have actually bought here, which is where I was initially interested in, but I'm in now anyway. So that's looking good. I'm now looking for the next wave on this token, so I'll keep an eye on it. And I think it'll be really bullish if we can break the top side of this trend line. That would require an impulsive wave to get up there to higher numbers. I still think we have some liquidity to clear on Quanks in this little local range over here. And that may be the next corrective move will be there. I don't know. We have to see how impulsive this price action can become. It should be quite impulsive because if you see how the price moved down, it was quite fast. So you would expect the price to come back up quite fast as well. You would expect that kind of behavior. The other token that I got was Voigt. Again, I've been looking at this for a while. I had it going much lower, but it's obviously not done that. And the reason why I was interested in this dip on this token was because, again, it's the same idea. We're looking for a wave 4. You don't want the wave 4 to come underneath the wave 1, which it hasn't done. And what I'm seeing here on Voigt is a swing failure of these lows here. You see that? That's a swing failure. Not really a swing, it's like a failed auction of the lows. As the price comes back up, that's your invalidation. And of course, we're coming into resistance, but it's the right place. It's the right reaction that you want to see. You want to see the price come underneath a previous pivot and then come back up. Yeah, that's the right reaction. And we are expecting on Voigt, we were expecting some kind of ABC correction. So I am wondering if that's the correction now. If that's it. And the great thing about this token is it's shown some really impulsive behavior in its price history. So if we are in the wave 3 and we haven't actually had an extended wave in this last wave, so I am actually thinking maybe this next wave is going to be an extended wave and take us all the way to the all-time high. That's what I'm thinking right now on Voigt. We have the same problem with Voigt as we have with Quanks. We have a little bit of trapped liquidity here. So the first onus on the bulls will be to see if we can get past that. RBT, the real frog in Seoul, 19th of April, Dubai. Smilek. Don't know what it is. What's Smilek? RBT, the real frog. Real frog? I don't know what that is, but that's not good. Yeah, look, you're at the value area low. It's a good place to pick up some. I can't tell you that it's going to go higher or lower. Yeah, no one knows if it's going to continue going down. No one can predict that. No one can predict that. Yeah. but because we're at the value area low, you are holding the lows. So it's definitely a good place to pick up some spot and see what happens. All right. Sergio Fernandez is saying Smilek. Ribbit on Solana. That coin is not. This isn't the coin. Right. Sorry. So the other coin that I'm interested in, Smilek on the bank. Right. Just send me a link. Put a link in there, and I'll click on it. As long as it's an exchange link, like Dex Screener or something. What's the Radium one? Is it Radium? Radium. Give me a Radium IO link. Dex Screener, yeah. This is so overextended in terms of price that I would never buy this right now. It's too overextended. If you look at where the price began to where it is now, it's already up 86x, probably more. So I think a lot of people made a lot of money on this. Look, that's more. It's like 454x. There's nothing to say really. The problem with these tokens and is if you were to go buy now, you'd have to get all the way up to here just to make a 2x. Yeah, that's the problem. So most of the gains have been made in this token. That's the problem. Yeah, and I think it's quite. This is quite risky. This kind of token is quite risky. Buying at the highs of these tokens, you could lose all your money. If you're actually looking to really enter this token, like because you're still bullish on it for reasons that I don't know, then the way to do it is to do a volume range pull. Look at the volume range. This is the 4-hour time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame. This. Can't see the settings. I don't miss. Just can't buy it. Just like literally the best place to buy this now would be down here. There's too much too many green candles here. And the problem with green candles is the lack of support. So if the price did decide to come down somehow, it would fill very quickly. And actually the best place to buy would be this high volume node at this little cluster range here. And if it doesn't get back into that level, then at the very least the top, that's kind of where you want to buy this token if you're looking to buy this token. And then if you do a retracement from the low, don't know where it's going to be. It's hard to see where the low is. Maybe from the beginning. Yeah, you really want to get, the problem is these green candles. That's the problem. Lack of volume, green candles. You want to see a topping pattern here. You want to see the price go down and ideally you want to pick up this token this may never happen. You may never get this opportunity, but this is where you want to get it, somewhere in this range here. And if it doesn't happen, then look for a new token. Don't mess around with this. This is too risky. 13, smiling to the moon. Ribbit on Solana, same dev, a whiff to 19 again. So that, remember, don't get out the Ribbit. 13,000 holders, Ribbit. Real life frog, go Ribbit. Lots of Ribbit fans. Yeah, so with this one, just be very careful. Definitely not a good idea to buy the top of this extended price action. Look for the pullback, and I think the best pullback is going to be all the way down to this 786. That would be the best opportunity to enter. This would be it would look bearish, but actually that would be the best place to buy, because you're coming back into historic volume and you're at the 786 of this fib retracement, and you're buying after everyone has sold. You want to buy after all the sellers have sold. Once all the selling is finished, that's when you buy. Okay, so you don't buy when everyone has bought. You buy when everyone has sold, because then when you buy, there's no more selling. It's just buying. Okay, so hopefully, if the price was to come back all the way down here, all of these people who have sold will look to be buying back in, and you buy, and then they push the price up for you. That's kind of the way it works. What other token did you want me to have a look at? Emir, you have a good sense of how to build a position in crypto. Matt Fontaine. Matt, what do you mean by that? I have a good sense of how to build a position in crypto. Is that a question, or? Yeah, you see, like I said, you don't buy the top, you wait for the pullback. It's the same thing. You see with the other one that I looked at, Smilek, that's exactly what could happen. When you have these green candles, the price could just fall right back. You've got to be very careful buying green candles. It's a good place now. Good place to buy. Look, you're back above the point of control. Yeah, look, there's nothing really more to say. Is this log? Let me go back to log. Is that the correct one? Yep. This is a good place to buy. Look, point of control. That's where you want to buy the token. And the good thing about this is, if you look at the price, it's come back above this previous low here. That's what you want to see. It's back above the point of control. That's what you want to see. So you're seeing the right things. And let me just do, is this the right chart? I hope this is the right chart. Oh yeah, well, Matt is saying perhaps poorly phrased there, sorry. I mean, you're good at looking for entries that let you build a strong position in crypto markets. Thank you. I'm just looking for the highest, the lowest risk to the highest return. Really, that's all I'm looking for. If it comes, it comes, and if it doesn't come, it doesn't come. It's not a big deal, because you'll eventually find some, okay? And it's all about ROI, risk versus reward, return on investment. So here, when you're looking at this, if I take it from the low here to up to there, let me try it from the open to the top. basically both saying the same thing. Both of these fibs are basically saying the same thing. Kind of came into the 886. I probably would use the higher time frame fib. So from the open to the top, and then definitely use the log chart. Okay. You can see we're in the point of control now. The value area high is there. Let me just mark that for you. Just quickly do this for you. Control. Get rid of that. Point of control. So that's your volume levels. You have the higher time frame fib levels. I like these levels because you can see how the 50% reacted here. This is a real SR flip, the 50% mark. See that? And you can see how the golden pocket, there's reactions all the way around into the golden pocket. Here it came down, came back down, lost it, back tested it. So the fibs are reacting. Yeah, this lower fib, the 786, is reacting too. You can see, and now you can see the 886 right at the bottom. We've had a reaction. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's kind of what you want to see. You have a really nice respect on this higher time frame fib on the log scale from the open to the top there, and you have the volume area. You've got the value area high, the point of control, the value area low. The price is above the point of control now. You've taken the liquidity from these lows, so it is actually a really good place to pick up this token right now. This is all quite impulsive. I don't know if there's a count here. It's very impulsive. This is the best impulse. And it's very possible that this is the beginning of the move. This one here, not this one. This whole thing could be an accumulation range, and that's just someone buying at market. So someone just bought a heck of a lot of this token at market, but it wasn't really the move. It wasn't like an impulsive move. This for me looks like a very impulsive move. Yeah, with the volume increasing. So possibly that could have been your wave one, and this could be the wave two correction. The conditions for the wave two correction is that you make a higher low, so you don't come back to the zero. So looking at it, let's just say for the sake of argument, your wave one started somewhere here. This could be your end of your two. The three is usually the most bullish. A second. Don't know where it started really. It's hard to tell. Let's say it from there to there to there. That'd be a good target there. If you want a target, that's your target. You'd have to make another high, an all-time high, but you're probably targeting that number there. You have to be careful because you have the price increase from where we are now to the all-time high is 66.5x. Okay, 6.5x. You may, if you go up here and you get a swing failure, then that's not what you want to see. you'd have to take profit there. But if you extend rather, then that would be the good place, the 1.618 on this trend based. Then if that was the one, then the 4 can't come underneath the 1. That would be the rule. So that would have to SR flip. And then you could potentially have a 5. But if you have a flat correction on the 4, which back test the high here, that would be more bullish. Okay, so something like that. God, there's a lot of chatting, huh? It's hard to keep track. J9 says, thanks, you're welcome. Oh, Matt Fontaine. Well, they have to do it correctly and be safe, that's all. So the time that you go long is when you see signs of strength or when you see lack of weakness. So that's usually with swing failures of the lows. So I'll explain. So for people who don't know, the best, what you're looking for buying, I'll show you in Bitcoin, actually, it'll be easier. So you're looking for strength, and strength is, weakness is losing levels, strength is reclaiming levels. Yeah, weakness is losing ranges, strength is reclaiming ranges. Yeah, so if you see strength, you can long. If you see weakness, you can short. It's really, keep it that simple. And when you see swing failures, they happen a lot because people get liquidated. When you see a swing failure like this, you see the price goes down and it comes back up. That's not weakness, that's a lack of weakness. That's negative weakness. It's the opposite of weakness. It's not strength, but it's not weakness. Because the way the market works is that when you go below a level, people who are long, ever since this candle here, they were long. Usually they'll put their stop loss here. And the stop loss is going to be a market sell order. So they're looking to sell their positions at market if the price comes underneath here. Okay. So what happens is when the price comes underneath, all of these people who are long in this whole range after this candle will get liquidated or they'll get stopped out. And then basically you get massive selling pressure at the lows. So lower sellers. When the price comes down and it goes back up, well, after all of that selling, you see the volume here, there's a lot of selling. When you get all of that selling and the price can't go down, it goes back up, well, that tells you something. It tells you it's not as weak as you think. Yeah, it's not as weak as you think, because if there was no buyers there, the price would have just come down. Yeah, because you have all of this selling pressure at market. It's the same thing with swing failures of the highs. So when you were looking at the current all-time high that we made, where is it? Oh, this one. Let's have a look at this one. Not this one, although that one's correct too. That's more of a failed auction. Here, look. Which one was it? Oh, it's this one here. There's too many. See, I'll show you. So what you had here is you had this rounding top. This is the first time we made an all-time high. The price went up, liquidated everyone who was short in this range and had their invalidation above that level. And it came right back down. You see, that's not a sign of strength. That's a sign of lack of strength, i.e. that becomes weakness. Okay. Well, naturally what happened is that people shorted, and the price action here are shorts entering and taking profit. So all of this price coming back is taking profit. People took profit at market. And you see, as the price came back above these lows, again, it was the reverse. So you went straight from weakness back into strength. Happens a lot. And this is just a local 1 hour time frame price action. Really what you want to see is the higher time frames, and it's basically the same thing. The way the price is behaving is the same way. is it says this, it says the same thing about the price. So if you look at this weekly candle, you'll see that it took the price, the lows, and it's come back up. It's coming back up. So that's not necessarily weakness. RBT to the moon. Ribbits. All right, no more spamming, guys. I got it. We got the message. RBT is the real frog in SOL. Okay. No. Let's stop that now. AVAX. I'll have a look at AVAX. I've got AVAX. Maybe it's just easier to add and remove it. I mean, look, we're following this higher time frame channel, which I've drawn out. This is on the log time frame, the log scale rather. You can draw this channel for yourself. It's basically from this pivot low here. I'm using the weekly time frame, to this pivot low, to that all-time high. I'm guessing that's the all-time high. And then you can see that there was the front run of a reaction here. There's a little bit of a reaction here, and a little bit of reaction there, and you can see now that there was a reaction there. Okay. I don't know when I did this chart. It was probably before we hit the midpoint. I can see 5 waves here in the first bull market, the last bull market rather. Okay, this is all corrective, and this is probably another 5 waves out. This is the first wave, probably. It looks like it. Without going into more depth, I'm not sure. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. It's quite subjective. It's hard to see exactly. Let me see that one actually. Let me have a look at that. What was that I did? No, that's not helpful. Let me see if there's a change in the volume as well. No real change. Look, do you see this back test of this pivot here? That's quite important. It's like you've got an SR flip going on here, and that's the second test. Look, that's the first test. That's another test. These are good because you're confirming support. It looks like we're making a higher low here. So you have a really nice invalidation here. You don't want the price to go down now and come underneath this pivot. Underneath, like not another time. Like 1, 2, that's enough. You don't really want to. You don't want to keep on testing support lines. That's not bullish, because eventually what happens is you break. Yeah, you test it once, twice, that's enough. Maybe 3 times max. You don't want to keep on testing support lines, and you certainly don't want the price to hug support line either. You want the price to react and go the other way. What you want for the price to do is you want the price to test and push resistance lines. Yeah, keep on pushing. So is that a good place? Actually, it's not a bad place. I am thinking though, looking at this price action, that this whole thing could be corrective and we could still be in another wave. I'm not sure about this little thing here. I don't think that was a wave. But it could be, that's the thing. It's quite subjective. You see, that could have been a little wave, but I'm not thinking it is. I'm thinking it starts here. So you could have like a 1 there, maybe a 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly. That was complete. Maybe we're in some kind of correction here. Let me just, it's like with waves, Elliott waves, it's quite subjective. Yeah, and as new data comes, you can update it, because it's not that easy. I'm just making this up right now. I'm not 100%. That could be your wave 1, and we could be in some kind of correction here. Yeah, getting ready for the next wave, and no one knows how long that correction is going to last. Could this be a wave here? It's possible as well. That's the other thing. Could that be to there, and that could be to there? That's possible too. And so this could be still correcting. That actually could be your ABC there. That might be better actually. That looks better. Because your 4 comes back, it doesn't come underneath the 1. Looks like it's completing a second wave. Let me have a look, okay. This is your macro wave 1. This is all corrective. Where does the impulse begin? Let's just say it begins here. Where does this impulse begin? It begins there to there to there. I'm not sure about this. But the way that I try and check is with fibs. So let's just try this to there. It didn't do a 1-to-1, so that means the 5 had to be smaller. Maybe the 5 was just weak and it was just to here. I'm not sure. That would make more sense. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. The reason why that makes more sense is because the 3 can't be the smallest. And right now, what I'm looking at this is you've got this 1, you've got this 2. The 3 is shorter because it hasn't even reached the 1-to-1, which means the 5 has to be shorter. Yeah. And for that to be the 5, it's pretty long, huh? It's quite long. No, wrong way. Sorry. No, it is shorter. Then you just have to count the waves. ABC 1, ABC 2, 1, ABC, that's your 2, 3. Back test that. 5. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know where the 5 ended, actually. I can't tell. It could have ended there. Then this is all corrective, like an extended flat correction. Could be like that. I don't know. But anyway, I think it's that this is all corrective right now. It'll be a lot easier to see once we impulse out of here. to try and actually, because once you have the impulse, then you can actually map out the correction, and then it becomes easier to identify the first wave correctly, and then you can also do your targets. When it comes to AVAX though, we're into the value, like we've got an SR flip, which is nice, but we have the value area high to flip into support. There is a little bit of resistance. You've got this channel up here. Best way to go about this is to just do a volume range pull like that. We're above the point of control. That's nice. That's what you want to see. So you just don't want to see the point of control for the price to come down and find resistance off the point of control. You don't want to see that happen, because that's actually quite bearish. The fact that the price is coming above the point of control, you kind of want to see now the price to come back and find support. That's the kind of price action you want to see. And the great thing about this drop is that it was quite fast. So you would expect, if we do find support, for the price to go up quite fast too and attack the highs. So it's not looking bad, it's just looking quite normal. Within this volume range, that's okay. Came to the bottom, now we're back above the point of control. There's nothing to worry about at the moment on this token. And it looks like we're trying to potentially start our next wave. That was your wave one. Looks like, yeah, Matt is right. It looks like it's just completing the wave two. And the way to know is an impulse. You want to impulse out of a wave two. Maybe we're going to see that. We're looking at historic impulses. It wasn't just green. There were red candles. The previous bull market was very different to the current impulses. There was a lot of green in these previous bull market impulses. We haven't seen that yet, so maybe it's only just getting started. There's a bit of green here, a few reds. You just want to see greens to see the impulses. Majid, hi, how's it going? Welcome. Please have a look at Ava. It's crazy. You have an idea and it doesn't work. Unfortunate. You still have to flip that level into support. We still have a rounding bottom idea in play. Kind of wanted to hold support. There's a little bit of weakness in that, in the fact that it wasn't able to do that. See how people just dumped their tokens. But it's what it happened is it came right back to this monthly level here, and we're seeing a little bit of a bounce. I think you want to see us get back above this high volume nodes that I have marked here. Get rid of these brush strokes now. I want to show, just hide that. I think the best thing to do with Ava is have a look at the BTC chart, because I did mention on Ava that the BTC one was coming into resistance, and you see it fell back. I think that's the problem with Ava, is that the BTC chart is still on a higher time frame downtrend and it hasn't changed. Yeah, see that? So you see the beat on the BTC chart, the price has failed to get into the value area. See that? That's the problem with Ava right now. It's struggling to get back into the value area against Bitcoin. And against Bitcoin, you have this higher time frame channel or trend line, call it whatever you want, and we had another rejection from it. Eventually what needs to happen is the price needs to get back above there, and then you can attack the point of control, right? So until that happens, you're not going to see the impulsive strength return to Ava. That needs to happen. But I mean, it's in an accumulation kind of period. Let me have a look at the volume as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, look, we're at the point of control. We've bounced on the point of control. We're kind of in between volume nodes right now. Oh, that's not good. So that's a change. And I think I've seen this before on Ava. You see how the high volume node and the point of control has flipped places. Yeah. See, when that happens, that's quite problematic because, again, people are selling. So as the price, what's happening now? The price comes here, people are selling. The price comes down here, people are buying. The price comes here, people are selling. The price comes here, people are buying. So we're a little bit range locked between these volume nodes, and what needs to happen now, like for safety, is we need to get back above this point of control, flip it into support. That would be really good. Otherwise, you're going to get into a situation where it just goes up and resists again. Okay, but that could happen. Okay, because the reason why that could happen is, again, it's the same idea. You have this fast drop. So if you have a buy up, you could have a nice fast buy up to get back above that level. And you see this volume on this candle. That was the signal, really, because you took the liquidity from the highs, high volume, and hopefully you'd expect that person to reaccumulate. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna finish my stream. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you want anything charted, just put it in the comments or on Twitter, and I'll have a look at it tomorrow. And yeah, see you tomorrow. I did want to look at 2 other tokens actually, but I'll do that tomorrow, I think. Which other tokens that I want to look at? This one actually. So if anyone's interested in a gamble, which is all it is right now, this is the token of interest. It's called Cube. It's like a $1 million market cap token. And let me get rid of all of this stuff. Literally a gamble. We're at the value area low of this whole range. Yeah, so it's like the point of control is just above us, so that could be resistance, but it's at a really good place, and it's a very small market cap token. And the good thing about this token is it hasn't run before. It launched at the end of the bear market, bull market, so it just dropped in value. And when you look at the volume profile, you can see most of the volume is here. There's a little bit of trap liquidity there. It's a $1 million market cap token. I think, do your own research, but this is like literally the best place to pick up some, literally right here. And I mean, obviously lower here would be better, but you almost don't want to make a lower low. You almost want to make a higher high. Get back up here. We can get back up there. You see how fast this price moved down. If we can flip that value area high into support, it'd be very likely that the price goes up quite fast too. It's very possible. I can't see increasing volume yet. That's kind of what you want to see. So it's right now what you're experiencing on this token is an accumulation period. It's a very long accumulation period, yeah? And it's a little bit of a gamble because you never know. It's literally the best time to buy right now. Look, you see that? Let me zoom in a bit. It's worth it. The ROI on this is really good. Actually, let me update my value area low. Because the value area does move down. See that? So if you consider the ROI, let's just say for the sake of argument, the low is in. Who knows? No one can predict that. But just for the sake of argument, if the low is in, let's just go for a wider low. Let's say that's the accumulation zone down to there. Let's say we get back up to that high there. That's risk 1, and the reward is 746. That's the risk to reward ratio on that. It's pretty good, huh? And this is, I mean, it's worth it. Do your own research, but KubeCoin, have a look. Up to there, look, up to that high there, you're looking at 182x. And basically you're looking at a 1 MCAP token. In a manic bull market, it's very conceivable that this 1 million MCAP goes up to 180 or 200 million MCAP. Very doable. What else was it? All right, the other one that I wanted to, but right, that's fine. Right, have a good day, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.